Hello everyone. In this lab, we will verify Kirchhoff's voltage and current laws using experimentation or using analog discovery. Now this is the circuitry you will work on establishing the KVL. KVL says the sum of voltages around a loop equals to 0. So you have to verify equations 1 and 2. Second equation is kind of obvious because these are in parallel. You will be basically using analog discovery voltmeter. Those are the channels 1 plus and 1 minus and channel 2 and 2 minus. So you just place these wires across an element. So if you want to measure voltage on R1, which is V1, you simply place the orange wire here, orange with the stripe on terminal B, and we got all these actually shown here. We don't want you to use a regular external multimeter. Rather, you should be using analog discovery and be comfortable with it. When it comes to measuring a current, which you will need to verify Kirchhoff current law, again on this circuit, you actually need to insert the ammeter. So you need to break this connection and place an ammeter right there as shown here to be able to measure a current. So never place an ammeter in parallel with the component. So this is the external multimeter running in ammeter position. So you should start with the highest range, of course. So this is showing how an external multimeter in ammeter position is connected to measure the main current. In our case, that would be I1. And this one shows how you're breaking this connection so that you can insert the ammeter for measuring the current through R2 resistor. So be careful and never place it in parallel with a component, especially you don't want to do that with the sources, otherwise a short circuit would happen. So be always make sure that the ammeter is in the highest position, because so you want to be able to go backwards slowly in order to make the current reading. And finally, if you wanted to have a good match between your theoretical calculations and the experimental ones, you may want to measure the resistance exactly and use those values in your calculations. So over here, maybe this resistor R1 is only 950 ohms instead of 1000 ohms. So that happens due to the tolerance of the resistors or components. Another note, you will be doing multi-sim simulations in the PreLab. It is for the same circuit, and you need to use a voltage probe to measure voltage and a current probe to measure a current. This is from multi-sim 14, and they have conveniently have these probes. You will be measuring voltage across a component, in which case a resistor. You need to use a differential probe. So you place the positive terminal of the probe in one side and the reference or the negative one on the other side, so you can measure it. There is also a voltage probe, but that's only with respect to ground, so it's kind of measuring the potential. And as for the current probe, you simply place this at the branch of interest and it shows you a reading. And these are some examples. And another thing, you can use multi-sim live after creating an account. It's a free version. However, you will need to buy multi-sim eventually for electronics courses. So you can have the trial for multi-sim, but it's only for 2 weeks. But again, you should purchase it for the remainder of the classes. Thank you.